a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
A half-blood of the eldest gods shall reach 16 against all odds, and see the world in endless sleep. The hero's soul cursed blade shall reap. A single choice shall end his days, Olympus to preserve or raise. Welcome to Of the Eldest Gods, where we discuss Rick Riordan's role as our godly parent.
Hey yo guys, I'm Raye from Cabin 12.
And I'm Charlie from Cabin 13. And guess what? Raye, we can end the podcast. They said our podcast name in the book.
Roll
it's
credits.
Done. We roll the credits. They did the thing.
Okay, I swear that we've had an argument about whether this prophecy had appeared yet, because we were talking about it when Percy was talking about Riptide as a cursed sword.
Yeah, I mean, the actual lines of it hadn't occurred, but, like, it's definitely been, like, this blade has a long and terrible history, I think was said.
Right. The stuff about Riptide being a cursed sword, but I swear that we talked about this prophecy. And I was like, I don't think that's come up yet, and you were like, no, it totally has.
I feel like it has. I don't know if they said, like, a half-blood of the eldest gods, but it was definitely, like, it's going to be a demigod child of the big three.
Well, yeah, obviously.
That's what was said before that. I don't think they exactly had the lines of the prophecy
I
said.
swear that you had argued otherwise before. I don't have receipts, but in my brain, that has happened to me. Of course, my memory is, like, complete shit, so it's entirely possible I'm very wrong.
We both have ADHD, therefore we both have no memory. Therefore, this could be the same exact argument, or we could have swapped sides.
Yeah, literally.
Like, honestly, yeah, just, I should never speak, because...
And yet, we do a podcast for some reason.
I'm literally just like... Man, I've definitely, like, said the same thing on this podcast, like, 50 times before.
That's a big move.
And been like, I'm just knowing this for the first time. Like, 50 times in a row. That's definitely happened. Yeah, anyway. Charlie learns a new thing. That's the same thing they learned last episode. Oh, yeah. That's on the bingo card now. Thank you.
All right. Would you like to hear about how Percy gets a sneak peek at his death?
I would, but I'd also like to know, is this a correct name of the chapter? Or...
Seems pretty good to me, because the prophecy is what we're building up to, so it's got relevancy, it's got accuracy, yeah.
Yeah?
I guess it's only accurate if Percy dies at some point in this book, which would be spoilers, so I'm not going to tell you if that happens or not. You can make your own conclusions.
Well, I mean, as far as he knows, that is what it is.
Indeed.
So, I don't know. I guess Percy doesn't show up in any other series ever by Rick Riordan. There is not going to be a 6th Percy Jackson the Olympians book coming out next month.
Anything could happen.
Or maybe he died and he just, like, decided nope. Like another child hero who shall not be named.
Good callback. Spoilers, but that did in fact happen in the fucking Divergent trilogy, which made me so upset because it's written in the first person, and then she's just like,
okay. For a second you had me confused. I was like, Triss died and then came back? Like, no, wait.
Oh, no.
No, Triss died.
Okay,
I am remembering that correctly. I never read them, but I knew that fact, and I was like, I hope they don't make another movie, because that'll make me so mad. Anyway, I could also talk about one of my favorite book series that had 12 long books. Spoilers for Cirque du Freak, if anybody cares about that at all. But you read 12 books with a character, and then the whole prophecy of like somebody has to die at the end. It has to be either him or the other person, and whoever survives is going to become the evil villain and basically destroy the world. Anyway, so it's like, great! Either your option is die or destroy the world. What does he choose? When the other person who's fated to this is dying, he's like, I'll kill myself. Fucks up prophecy shit, then then comes back to life, time travels so that nothing ever have happened. And I'm like, why did I care about this series in the first place if that's how it was going to end? Anyway, Cirque du Freak ruined my life in middle school. And that's why I like finished the book series and I'm like, I'm giving away these books and I'm never reading them again.
Oh, that's so sad. Man. That's like, what happens when you don't plan shit out, you know?
To make it even worse, so the writer is Darren Shan. The main character is Darren Shan. The character is a self-insert of himself, and I guess the ending is to be like, oh, so I'm writing them about me in an alternate timeline. I think that should have been the first red flag, is realizing the main character had the same name as the author. Everything else was good, though.
I know I read at least the first one. Also, the movie, which was hilarious.
The movie's not bad.
It's not.
It's not a good adaptation, but I still enjoy it. You know? It's a good time. Yeah, anyway, I could rant about Cirque du Freak forever, and I don't even remember.
Let's on that next time, which is something we say every episode about something.
Listen, if you forced me to make a podcast about it just so I could rant,
it'd be really funny.
I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad about it. Okay. Anyway, it's about vampires. And that does involve some weirdness with age things, but it's vampires.
Okay.
Yeah, you ever just like date a girl when you're a teenager and then you don't age and then suddenly you like go back to school and she's your teacher?
Oh my god.
But like you're anyway.
Okay. If that was handled well, that could be legitimately interesting because that is like a consequence of immortality. But I bet it wasn't.
There's so much. I can't even go into it. Anyway,
okay.
I want to, but I can't.
Let's talk about Percy dying.
I'm bringing so much weird energy today because you got me on this shit. Anyway.
Okay.
Percy's
the
dying.
Alternate title of this chapter is
yes.
Selena is very sad, and so am I.
Oh. No.
Percy.
How dare you?
Percy gets back to camp, unfortunately, alone. And then we all get to feel devastated about Beckendorf all over again through the proxy of Selena. Percy and Annabeth grab the Great Prophecy from the attic, and they bring it to a fun meeting. Except it's not very fun because Clarice is really mad about some shit, and she says that the Ares cabin is straight up not helping with the war effort anymore, which seems important. But, moving on, Percy is dealing with his own mortality. Everybody is trying to figure out who the spy in their ranks is, like it's a game of fucking Among Us. And now there's an evil giant headed for New York. And that is everything important.
Okay, I have two things to say. One, I have my alternate name for the chapter. It's called "The Tea Is Spilled." And then in what are they called? Parentheses. And so is the hot cocoa. Because that it happens. And then also, it literally is fucking Among Us, and that makes me so upset. Have I mentioned how like games like that actually are bad for my brain?
Yeah,
it took me a long time to realize that I just cannot play games where someone everyone is at odds with each other, and you have to figure out who is the secret bad guy. Because my brain not healthy, and I think everybody hates me. So
no. See,
and it affects my mental health.
I think that they're very fun, but if I have to lie to people, my heart starts beating so hard, like it gives me like almost an anxiety attack, except it doesn't transfer to anxiety because I'm having a good time doing it. So I'm lucky in that regard.
I don't think the lying to people in a game would really affect me that much.
Interesting.
It's just the like Nah, I think Charlie is sus. Like, it's them. They're definitely the villain. And I'm like, cool, this is going straight into my heart.
Oh,
I know this is a game, but my brain is, like, not registering that. I'm sorry.
Maybe you just gotta be less sus.
Apparently I do. Yeah.
Nah, it's actually a lot more like Werewolf than Among Us, but that's a funnier game to say.
True.
Anyways. Is. Oh, you want to tell me about some stuff?
I do, bro. I want to tell you about some stuff. I also added in a thing because I forgot there was a little something in the attic. So we're also going to mention another weird thing. Don't worry about it.
A one-sentence reference in the thing, but I was like, I bet we're going to talk about that, and I'm excited for it, actually. I want to know what that is.
I do that often, okay? I'm like, wait, there's a reference? If it's not something big later, at least in this series, I'm going to still try to talk about it. Mm-hmm. Maybe this thing will come back up. Maybe not. But at least for this series, hey... yeah. So cute in case you missed it. But anyway. We gotta talk about... Alright, I googled his name. Chrysaor. That's how you say it. Okay? You got
Chrysler, it? Like the car.
Yeah, you could also say Chrysler. Yeah. He has a different kind of car, though. What is it?
That seems like a real shame. He should have a Chrysler.
Right? We saw it in the chapter. Fuck. Honda Civic. Why?
That is a funny car to have.
I mean, it is for someone who should clearly have a Chrysler. Okay, so Chrysaor is he's a dude. He is, in fact, this says just the brother. I would technically call him the twin brother, but, you know, they're fraternal, because his brother is Pegasus.
Good.
Yeah, so this is the very much lesser known twin brother of Pegasus. Literally, does anyone know who this is? Not even the people who made up the mythology really know. So his name means golden sword, or he who has a golden sword. He's the son of Poseidon and Medusa, usually depicted as a young man, although modern interpretations sometimes make him like a boar, or a flying boar, or a boar man, or something. Is weird. I want to know where the boar stuff comes from. Like, anyway, so he springs out of Medusa's neck, just like Pegasus does when Perseus beheads her.
Right.
A fun way to be born!
Yeah, totally normal.
It's not a C-section, it's just a decapitation. Yeah, I wanted to try to come up with a funny pun, but I couldn't think of one in, like, the 5 seconds I said that sentence.
Calling Medusa his mother is certainly not a thing that is wrong, but it doesn't feel quite right either.
What do you mean?
That's who's listed as his parent in the wiki here. That's his mom, Medusa.
Yeah, it is.
You know, because he sprang out of her severed neck when she was beheaded. I don't know. I just feel like...
Why does it feel like she shouldn't be his mom, though?
Would you claim that if that happened to you? She did not carry anyone to term. That's like saying that because Dionysus was inside of Zeus's leg, that's his mom.
Does that mean they're preemies?
I mean, you could compare it to a C-section, I guess. That's
what I was trying to do. I was trying to see if I could come up with a pun based off of, like, C-section and decapitation. Decapitation section. I can't think of something. Please, somebody, if you come up with something funny for that, tell me. Because I really wanted to find something, but my brain couldn't. That is his mom, though. Like Poseidon and Medusa did in fact fuck. And he did invent horses, so you can't say that Pegasus ain't his kid. Come on.
I get what we're saying here. I'm just saying it doesn't quite follow for me.
I'm gonna assume that she was, like, in fact pregnant, but it's because it's like, they're godly children. Athena came from Zeus's head. Nothing makes sense here. The fact that Dionysus could be, like, saved as a fetus by being put into Zeus's thigh? Does any of this make sense? biologically, physiologically.
So we're assuming that she was just pregnant when she was beheaded and that's just where the baby come out. But I don't know.
It's magic. Bro, it's magic.
I don't know about that.
It's magic.
I mean, obviously
don't
it's
question
magic.
It. Don't question it.
I'm just saying.
I understand what you mean. But I'm like, they're gods. It's real weird. That does also, Perseus, what the fuck? You killed a pregnant lady.
See, in reading this, it doesn't say that she was pregnant. It just says she was decapitated.
True.
I'm in my take, she's not pregnant, and her blood just turns into some guys for some reason.
Oh, so this is like a Uranus kind of thing.
Yes, that's
like
what I was comparing it to.
From his blood springs the Furies,
and also Aphrodite from the foam.
Yes, but you said blood, so I wasn't comparing it to the
no, but that's where I'm at.
The dick foam.
Do we want to say that Uranus is Aphrodite's dad because she came from his dick foam?
Yes.
See, that just seems dubious to me. Is all I'm saying.
Well, who would you consider her dad to be then?
Nobody. Sometimes things just happen. Sometimes shit just happens. Okay. That's what I'm saying.
Somebody's got to be the baby daddy, is all I'm saying.
You don't believe in Immaculate Conception? Come on now.
I mean,
on my Christian podcast?
I am a post-Catholic. At one point I did believe it. Also, do you know what Immaculate Conception means?
Yeah, that's totally not anything like what I was talking about.
Literally, even the Christians don't know what it means. Let me tell you. All it means was that Mary was born without sin. It doesn't mean anything else.
In my Christianity, the Immaculate Conception was the conception of Jesus, meaning that it was just done without any sex or whatever.
It's the fact that Mary was born without sin so that she could conceive him.
Interesting. So that sounds very Catholic. No, in Protestant Christianity, she would still be sinful. She's just a good lady.
Yeah, no, that's what I was taught. Is that she had to be the one human without original sin. Therefore, that's how she could have Jesus in her body.
No wonder she's so important in Catholicism.
Catholicism and Christianity in general, fucking weird as hell. But hey, guess what? We're relating all of these things. Religion? Fucking wild, bro. Anyway, this was just like a one-off. Why are we talking so much about this guy? He does nothing in mythology besides be born.
This Wikipedia page is so short. There's nothing
literally
here.
Nothing.
And yet...
The one other thing he does is he fucks one of the Oceanids and apparently has Echidna and our buddy Geryon.
God damn. That's quite the legacy. Holy shit. So that's the grandfather of all monsters.
Sometimes depending, I mean, like, I think sometimes she has other parentage.
Okay, well.
But, like, I don't know, I want to know why they gave her this parentage. I guess it was the snakes. I want to say it's the snakes.
Yeah, that seems so weird that Echidna would come after Medusa. I don't think that works for me.
Yeah, it don't make sense.
That makes it funny, because then Pegasus is the great uncle of all monsters. Okay.
Again, we have nothing on this man, and that's why I'm like, Christianity. The Greeks didn't fucking know who he was, so, like, doesn't matter, that he's the lesser known brother of Pegasus. Not really. Sorry.
Yeah.
He's got a golden sword, maybe, based on his name.
Cool. It's very funny that he's just a guy and his twin is a horse.
You know what? If two centaurs fucked.
Yeah, I see where you're going. That makes total sense. Doesn't make sense
a horse and a guy.
Actual parentage that we are dealing with here. But
I think the horse and the guy make sense based on Poseidon existing.
I mean, I guess.
But Medusa, based on Medusa, I feel like there should be more snakes involved. Like, he could just be a guy, and his brother should be, like, a horse with a snake head or something weird, you know?
See, this is part of why I'm like, I don't think that Medusa is the quote-unquote mother, because I'm like, clearly this is just a Poseidon-based miracle. I don't think she had anything to do with it, you know?
Poseidon is the Mother Mary. I know that's definitely not what you meant. I don't know why that's what my brain went to. Anyway.
All right. Just while we're on this guy, let's just mention where he's at in the chapter, which is in the attic where all the trophies are. There's a pair of fuzzy dice on a bronze plaque that read, stolen from Chrysaor's Honda Civic by Gus, son of Hermes, 1988.
Okay, so everything except for Chrysaor's name makes sense to me. Why is he the random person whose car this was stolen from? I feel like it should have been the Grey sisters. Like, steal the fuzzy dice from their taxi?
That would be quite the feat.
That would be so funny to me. Like, it's a reference to something we know.
I like this. I think it's very charming the way it is. Because, just like this guy is still around doing what the fuck ever. We don't know. Presumably the Half-Bloods do, though.
I guess so. We'll see if he ever comes back. But, like, it's also such a strange characterization from this one line to me.
Gus, son of Hermes, delightful. I hope that that's a character someday.
No, he's from the 80s. So clearly that means he's probably dead by now.
I know.
Because they don't live very long. But I definitely I need someone to draw fan fiction of this, like, son of Hermes and he's like 80s tracksuit or something. That's the vibe right here. Son of Hermes, but like 80s style.
It's very good.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Let's talk about another one of my faves.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Typhon, so many interesting things happening here. So he's got like a majillion like different forms of his name. Typhon, Typhos, Typhaon, Typhos, blah, 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 blah. It's not Typhoon. Typhoon has a different etymology, just so y'all know.
That's crazy.
But like, yeah, technically it does.
That's fucked up. I don't know that I like that fact.
Yeah, it may have influenced the word typhoon slightly, but like not really. Anyway, yeah, it literally says that in here. It may have influenced the Persian word, which is a source for typhoon.
Interesting.
But it would make sense because he's like a storm wind dude, made out of fucking smoke. And there's snakes. There's so many fucking snakes in this guy. Let me just say, there's so many. So let's start with who his parents are. Guess what? There's a lot of options. There's a lot.
Oh boy.
So there's Gaia and Tartarus. One of the very classic ones for old monsters. It means you're big, you're ancient, you come from the earth and the pit itself.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Or he's the son of Hera.
Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
I want more on that. I hope there's more about that in here because that is very interesting to me. And there's another option where he's the offspring of Cronus himself. I would assume Raye is also involved there. Doesn't say. But when it's Hera, it's just Hera. It's specifically Hera by herself, which means this is the second time in mythology where Hera births a child all by herself. There is Hephaestus and there is Typhon.
It says in here that if she does that, it's because she's mad at Zeus for having Athena by himself, and she's like, "Fuck you, I can do that too."
Yeah, that is how she did that with Hephaestus, at least. It says it also for Typhon?
Yes, that's what it says in here.
Wild! I've also heard the same thing for Hephaestus. That's why she birthed him by herself. Which doesn't quite work out if you go with the whole Hephaestus is the one who banged on Zeus's head with a hammer and cracked it open to help get Athena out.
Huh. Yeah.
Mythology is fun. There is no timeline. Everything is fake. The rules are made up and the points don't matter. That's what it is. Yeah, weird stuff happening there. But I just say that gives more credence to my theory that Hera could totally have a demigod child by herself. Don't at me. This is my theory. I have an OC. Do not steal. Okay. So Typhon is very important because he's literally he's part of the God, what is it called? Succession myth. So when everything starts, we have Uranus, who's the sky god, primordial, whatever. He's the king of everything. That's how it starts. And then we get Kronos, that guy, who overthrows his father. Yada yada yada. Kill. Then Zeus comes along, does the same to Kronos, yada yada yada. And then Typhon comes along and, especially if it's Hera who births him, I think that's even more interesting because that helps with the succession thing. It comes from the generations, the generational whatever. But then it doesn't work out because he's killed by all the gods.
That is fascinating.
That makes sense to me. I do think that, I know it's not perfect storytelling, it's mythology, everything changes. But if the Greeks were really thinking about it, you guys went sky god, earth god, sky god, storm creature. You should have gone with another earthly being of the harvest again. Come on, sky, earth, sky. You go with earth again. That's right. Who's gonna overthrow Zeus. It's gonna be the earth.
Well, maybe that's why it didn't work out.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So him being here and helping try to overthrow the gods is classic shit, is what you're telling me.
It is exactly classic shit. Literally happened. Yeah, he attempted to overthrow Zeus for supremacy of the cosmos, blah, blah, blah. He was either cast into Tartarus or buried underneath Mount Etna. So, under a mountain, which is also, believed, the same mountain that Hephaestus uses for his forges. Once again.
It's all coming together.
It's all coming together, bro. Okay, so, but we gotta talk more about, okay, where does it say what he looks like? Because birth, there's he's born from the earth. There's a million versions of his birth. Oh, goodness.
I found it, but I can't describe where it is.
Oh,
because I don't know which. It's under. Okay, it is under mythology still.
I was gonna say it's under descriptions. Okay. Terrible, outrageous, and lawless. That's a great. Thank you, Hesiod. Describes him. 100 snake heads on his shoulders. I want to reference an OSP thing. I'm pretty sure at one point she said Johnny Snake Shoulders. For someone in Persian myth. Anyway, that's Typhon now. Johnny Snake Shoulders.
Indeed.
There's literally a guy in the Shinama who has snakes on his shoulders, and he's just supposed to be a dude, but he did some magic shit. That's what you get. Okay. There's just so many snakes going on here.
For real.
The dragon, flickering tongues. There's fire. There's lots of fire on his heads. Heads with an S.
Yeah, it seems like there's just a lot going on here, and everybody has their own take.
Yeah. Oh, he might have 50 heads, 100 heads, 2 snake tails for legs, wings, fire breathing. I think he's just an amalgamation of snakes and fire.
Nonus said that the other heads are animal heads, like leopards, lions, bulls, boars, bears, cattle, wolves, etc.
Oh, so this is
and it makes a babble of screaming sounds.
It's like a
and
campy
he has
situation.
Legions of arms innumerable.
I don't like him.
Yeah. So he could be a lot of things, I guess. But there's always snakes.
I love what this guy represents. Like I said, I love the succession myth and how interesting that is, but I do not like trying to picture what the fuck he is. He is an eldritch abomination. He is a biblical angel. Both of these are the same thing.
True.
Oh my god. Oh god, don't look at the offspring and then just see the first line. Typhon was joined in love to Echidna. I don't like this phrase.
You don't like that?
I don't want to think of that amalgamation of snakes as a sexual being. I'm not gonna lie to you.
He can do whatever he wants. Okay?
Snake lady? Hot. Like multiple snakes on this weird man who's gigantic and maybe has wings. I'm not interested. I don't want to think about it. Oh god, she bore him fierce offspring. I don't like this. I'm sorry,
where did you think all the monsters came from? Come on now. We gotta have the birds and the bees talk.
I know, but my brain is thinking too hard about the language in this sentence, and I do not like it. Anyway, we're rated E. E is not for everyone, it's for explicit. They had millions of kids. Basically all the monsters. I'm not going through it again. I've done it before. It's a lot of them. Also the storm winds. I think that one's important. Storms. Him and storms is a lot.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. He's a giant storm guy. Which, like I said, why do we got another storm? Huh? Why another sky guy? Give me another earth guy. I know he's earthborn. But come on. Come on. Okay. That's gonna do bad things. I just hit my mic. It's fine. Okay, so he fought Zeus. Also fought all the other gods. And hey, look, all the gods, they're turning into animals as they're fleeing to Egypt. I don't know if that's important or anything, or if it's almost like it's syncretism. And I remembered that word. Wow. Okay, it's very interesting what it has. This one guy's like, all the gods except for Zeus and Athena transform into animal forms and flee to Egypt. Apollo became a hawk. Hermes an ibis. Ares a fish. Artemis a cat. Dionysus a goat. Heracles a fawn. Hephaestus an ox. Why is Leto here, and why is she a mouse? This is the Apollo mouse thing again? I'm not okay.
A lot of those were zodiac animals, and then there were just some that weren't, and I was like, okay, there goes my patterns.
Okay, I was going with the Egyptian gods pattern, which is like Apollo is Horus, Hermes is Thoth.
I see.
I don't know who's a fish. Artemis is Bast.
Fascinating.
Who's an ox? Okay. I lost it, but like I know 3 of those. Like I know the equivalents to some of those. So the rest of them, I'm very confused. I know I've also heard versions where we got the whole explanation for why Capricorn exists, where Pan is in this battle and he turns into a fish, or like partially a fish, so he's still half goat, and that's why Capricorn is a goat fish. It's so stupid. Capricorn, why are you like this?
Don't worry about it, it's fine.
That one only makes sense in like Mesopotamia. Because I think there's an actual god where that's his symbol, is a goatfish.
And the Greeks were like, well, we'll use that. It's fine.
The Greeks were like, hey, we're gonna make that make sense with our gods. This, I guess. Also, sometimes the, which one is it? Pisces is that's the fish one. I think sometimes that's like Aphrodite and Eros when they're fleeing too, Typhon. Or sometimes it's those fish are like, they took Aphrodite up to the top of the ocean or whatever, after she was born. The fish is related to Aphrodite. I don't know why.
She is from the sea. To the sea she shall return.
Anyway,
just like the Little Mermaid, sea foam. It's all coming together.
Really? Listen, I'll tell you about it after we record. But
Okay.
I have thoughts. Anyway.
Oh, fascinating.
Listen, my brain is just like, it's all coming together, and then the Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny. That's me at all times of my life, trying to always connect
you are
the
so
dots.
good at pattern recognition.
That's all I do in my life is pattern recognition and nothing else. Am I neurodivergent or something?
I'm starting to think maybe.
Remember when I got diagnosed by Ted and Juice's autistic? Remember when that happened?
Of course I do.
I don't need a doctor's note. I have two of my friends who know these things.
The autistics recognize their own, is all I'm saying.
I think I'm gonna start to own that. I think I used to be owning the whole oh no, I'm not autistic. My mother had me tested. That used to be the joke. All right. To get back to it, yes, that's they all fought. There's so much about this fucking battle. Actually, I don't want to get into it, but it's a lot of the gods fighting. I think the most important thing is that Typhon, literally takes out Zeus's I can't say words. It says his sinews. It his
ligaments.
Yeah.
Just steals those. Just steals your ligaments. Holy shit.
He just steals your ligaments, I guess.
That's so funny. That's horrifying. I hate it.
Literally, it's so fun. Yeah, you ever just fight someone so bad that they steal your ligaments?
Holy shit.
Yeah. I'm also confused. There's something happening in Nonus's Dionysica. There's a lot of Cadmus in here. What the fuck does Cadmus have to do with Typhon? He's just the guy who discovered Thebes. And he's also the grandfather of Dionysus.
Mythology's so fun.
I'm very confused why he's in this fight with involving Typhon, but also there's a music battle happening.
What?
I'm trying to read this. Cadmus disguises shepherd, enchants Typhon by playing the panpipes. Oh my goodness. What? Wait, is that why he... No. Okay, it's warm in here. I need to take this off, and I need to take a breath, because I'm very confused by this version of it. I have not heard that version, where Typhon takes out Zeus's ligaments so that Cadmus can string them into, a lyre? I've never heard this before. Wikipedia, are you fucking with me?
Gotta be a good-ass liar.
This is so weird. I've heard the part where he just, beats him so bad that he takes those out, and then, oh god, I don't remember who has to, come and help him, but someone has to, come and help him and string him back up, you know?
In Scott Pilgrim when he's you punched the highlights out of her hair. That's how I imagine that happened. It's you punched the ligaments out of his bones. That's not where ligaments go. But you get the idea.
Oh my god. Bro. Scott Pilgrim is a good movie, yeah? Yeah.
It's a good comic series, too.
I don't know, I heard something about, someone saying that Scott Pilgrim wasn't good, and I'm just do people not like that movie? Anyway.
Scott Pilgrim is literally so good.
I love it so much. But, we're not supposed to be talking about movies.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but they beat him. Does it say where the fuck they beat him? Because I don't remember that being, super actually important, besides he just beats him with his thunderbolts. There's nothing important on how he's beaten. Okay. Rude. But also, I guess he might be part of why volcanoes exist. Which also, I love when we go back to those things where it's hey, this is why this thing happens.
Yeah.
It's a myth! Yo! But yeah. Succession myth, blah blah blah. Okay, why is Python in here? We're comparing him to Python because they're snakes?
Yeah, I saw that section. I don't know that's important.
I'm very confused by this. Hey, Mesopotamia. I do enjoy that, because that also has some good succession myth stuff going on. so many mythologies have like the two different like sects of gods or like generations of gods battling it out for like rule over everything. And Mesopotamia also has like giant snake monsters as well. But I do think it is important, again, because the Typhon thing has so much to do with like the syncretization in Egypt stuff. They identified him with Set, the Egyptian god of chaos and storms. Makes sense.
Indeed.
When you just put it in those terms, but nowhere else does it make sense. Because that's not all he is. Set is actually like very important in Egyptian stuff. Yes, he did do a bad and kill his brother, and fight with Horus and all of that. He's still kind of like important to their culture, and like the king, he like protects Ra on his battle through the Duat every night. We'll get into Egyptian stuff later.
Yeah, we will.
It is very weird and it is very fun. So, but yeah. The last thing here is that he sometimes is one of the giants with a capital G, and sometimes he's not. It's unclear whether he should be part of that group. The giants are another group that the gods fought after the Titans. They came from Gaia, yada yada yada. Maybe we'll get into that in another series. I don't know. Could be important. Could not be important.
That seems to be maybe what Rick is going for here, because he does use the word giant to describe him. So that might be the mythology we're working with.
I'm not gonna say anything then. Perhaps you don't remember things, or
no,
perhaps...
I remember some things. I remember some things that are going to become relevant, but I don't remember if Typhon ever shows up again, so.
Interesting. All right, let's talk about this chapter!
Woo!
Because we've been recording for 50 minutes.
Yeah,
and
we went kind of buck wild on those.
I feel like we talk so much more when it's just the two of us, because I just go on tirades a lot. Raye, you need to speak more. I edit this podcast. Please shut me up sometimes.
It's fine. I should speak more though, but that's a me problem.
You're on a podcast. You need to talk. Let's talk about how if you want to be popular at camp, you can't come back from mission with bad news. True? Yeah, I'd say so. Just a little bit. I also really want to know about this really lost pizza delivery guy.
That is such a funny anecdote. I love Rick's little asides. Delightful.
Rick, I know you do this to us all the time, but again, you write short stories. Tell me about this pizza guy. I want to know his story. I want to know what happened and how you got him home. I was one of those really lost pizza delivery guys. I've been there.
Been there, done that.
When someone gave me the wrong address.
Just washing up on Camp Half-Blood.
It was me. All along. It was me. Oh my god. That should be my cameo.
Yeah, it should.
Okay. But also the fact that Percy is literally just like appearing on the beach, like we're in like a weird like rom-com. Like that's what I'm imagining. Him just like walking out of it dramatically, you know? Even though that's not at all the vibe. That's definitely how he just appears.
He is the son of the sea god. That's how they do it. That's how we roll.
Well, like, I mean, I guess it is the vibe because everyone's like so hopeful about him at first. They're like, oh, it's Percy! Like, you see him, he's just like, he's looking off into the distance. And he's chilling. And then you're like, shouldn't there be someone with him? Oh, shit. Oh, shit, that's why he's not talking. That's why he looks like he's a brooding male model.
God.
All right, so yeah, Connor's the one who's here, and he's the first one to know, but he doesn't pass it along to everyone else.
That's Percy's job, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Percy didn't actually tell him. Percy didn't really tell anybody, actually.
Yeah, he's just walking around looking real sad.
Yeah, and then he's just like sitting down at the dining hall and he's like, I'm just gonna wait for people to come and find me. Because they're gonna know I'm here. Like, it's camp, everyone's gonna find out in 5 seconds. Let's just have them look at me, and then be sad, and then leave me alone, because I'm sad. Yeah. Also, I feel like this is the most, like, we've had about, like, I don't know, this is, this feels almost the most forced we've had, like, description of something we've already known, like, you know? Telling us about Camp Half-Blood once again, but, like, Percy's not really exploring camp, he's just, like, kind of looking at it.
Well, it's to update us on the current situation, because what we're talking about is how things are different now that the war is in full swing. You know?
Yeah. Like, I know why
how many people are gone, and...
Yeah, I know why it's here and how it's being melded into it, but I also feel like it might be one of the most forced things that Rick's done when he's, like, reintroducing us to stuff in a book. He's usually really good at that, I feel like. Where it's just
I didn't notice it, so...
It felt like a lot to me. Well, that's just me. Because I'm thinking about it too much. Because I praise Rick for that stuff a lot. Do we love Chiron's shirt? Do we understand Chiron's shirt? Because I think it's both funny and I don't quite know what the joke is trying to do.
I feel like that's part of the point. Chiron's shirt says, "My other car is a centaur," which is deeply funny. And then you think about it for a second and you're like, "Sir, what?" And then you're like, no, I shouldn't be thinking about this, but...
Okay. That is something that would be a bumper sticker, right? Because it's supposed to go on your car. So yes, your other car is a centaur. Okay. But it's on a centaur. It's not on a car.
He is the car.
He is the car?
But what's the other? Yeah, no, it doesn't make any
what's
sense
the other
whatsoever,
thing?
But it's delightful. And...
My other centaur is a car?
No, don't.
Or is it that he drives another centaur? Like in a sexual way?
No, don't say that to me either. I don't...
This is what my brain comes up with. Yeah. I'm trying to make sense of this shirt.
Don't. It doesn't make any sense. Just let it be. It is what it is.
Like, I liked it better when Grover had the Got Hooves shirt, because, like, it doesn't have to be, like, Got Milk. It doesn't have to be the same, you know, thing, because it's just got.
Yeah.
There's not a lot to it. This has a whole sentence that doesn't make sense.
It really doesn't, and it's fine. I'm charmed.
All right. I'm glad you are. Do we have to talk about this very long paragraph where Percy talks about Annabeth, and how he feels about her right now, and how good she looks, even though she hasn't brushed her hair, and how complicated his feelings are.
He does have a lot of complicated feelings. It's interesting to me that he's, like, thinking about romance so much right here. I don't know. What's weird about it to me is that it feels so, like, stereotypical. Like, okay, this is how teen boys feel when they have a crush on a girl, moving on. It's, like, so, like, quick and not important to the plot, but it's something that, like, just happens to him.
Well, it's because he's seeing Annabeth again. Right. And we have to be like, every time he looks at her, he's going to be feeling this. So let's, like, talk about that, because it's the first time he's seeing her right now.
Maybe it's just, like, because I'm, like, somewhere on the asexual spectrum, but I'm like, your heart's racing right now? Aren't we? Like, we got stuff going on. Like, come on, bro. Come on.
That's how it feels when you feel attraction, my dude. It's also how it feels when I have anxiety.
Exactly. Anyways.
You know, anxiety, sexual attraction, same thing. Right?
That doesn't sound good at all.
I'm very much joking. Still, the vibes. We are immediately just, like, crying and bawling our eyes out because Selena is here, and she's I have to reference it, but she's turning into Cho Chang a little bit. Like, we're making a female character have her only big personality trait right now be, my boyfriend just died, I'm gonna cry about it forever. But also, it is still early. It is still early.
Okay, so what I find interesting about this chapter, and I think the rest of this book in general, is that we are getting a lot more of the other campers. Like, even when Connor showed up, we got, like, a description of his, like, looks and personality. Yes. So I feel like this book would be more effective if we had had more of this setup earlier on in the series. Because we hear that losing Beckendorf is like losing this pillar of the camp. And we, as the audience, have not really experienced that from him. You know, he's been mentioned, like, in passing maybe twice. Except for the short story.
He was in Sea of Monsters, Battle of the Labyrinth, because, like, no one was in Titan's Curse, really. And then he was in the short story, which was like, I wonder why he's so prominent in this one short story.
Yeah. Oh, Beckendorf. So I feel very fond of Beckendorf, and I can kind of fill that in myself. I'm like, yeah, he's this big, like, personality, this, like, rock at camp. He's this really important figure to everyone. But I don't feel like that was well established.
It's more show, don't tell. Hey, we need more show, don't tell.
We do.
It's more tell, don't show, is what I mean to say.
Right. We got you.
Yeah. I can't word things.
But yes. So I wish that we had gotten more of this from the other campers since the beginning of the series.
Like, because then we wouldn't just be having Selena as, like, crying girlfriend whose boyfriend just died as her whole personality right now. We'd know more about her, and her motivations going on. I mean, we know about the Stoll brothers. They like pranks.
They do. Real shitty pranks.
I can't think about their interview. It makes me upset. But
yeah, the only person who I really feel like I know well out of everyone, like, in this meeting is Clarice, yeah.
I mean, besides, like, Percy and Annabeth and Chiron.
Right. But they're the main characters. Clarice is, like, a secondary main... She's a supporting character. And I wish that the rest of them were also supporting characters.
Like, she had her own quest, and we went on her with it. So, like, we know about her. Also, we gotta talk about, her armor. I love it. I love it.
Okay. It's blood red combat armor, and she's got her hair tucked back in a bandana.
Yeah, oh god, they definitely also mentioned what her helmet looks like later on, where it's like, it looks like a boar.
Nice.
I love the vibes. Like, this is why when I was drawing all of my characters for Last Olympian, or, like, my characters, these are my characters, they're mine, I stole them from Rick. When I was drawing...
the opposite of when you're writing a fan fiction and you're like, I don't own this series.
And I'm like, no, they're mine. I own them.
I do own Percy Jackson. Come fight me, Rick.
It's ours now. But, like, I was like, I need all of these characters. Their armor needs to have, like, personality to it. Because I remembered, like, a few of them. Like, especially when we talked about Selena in the short story. Her armor is, like, bright pink. It's Barbie. She looks like Combat Barbie. Like, I love that it's not just... You remember those movies where they look like they're just at a LARP camp? And they're all wearing the same fucking thing. And I'm like, okay, that's fine for Capture the Flag. But this is war.
Gotta get silly with it.
It's also Percy Jackson. You have to get silly with it. That's the point. So they have to have stuff that reps their cabins, their godly parent, and, like, something that's a little bit them, you know? You know? It's good shit. So blood red armor. Also, she's my big beefy girl. And this is the first time we're getting the Clarice and Selena of it all. I don't know how much I can say.
Percy is like, maybe it seems weird that they're best friends when they're Aphrodite and Ares. And I'm like, no, historically, those two actually get along quite well. So
it's almost like Hephaestus was married to Aphrodite, and then Aphrodite fucked Ares on the side. I think that means Selena Batts reveal teams. Just saying. just a little bit, you know. She's the daughter of a love goddess. You can't not be like queer. I don't want to say you can't not be pansexual. I think it would be amazing if we had some aromantic, asexual children of Aphrodite, actually.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, so she's sad. Clarice is like giving her a big hug and give her some hot chocolate. That's her bodyguard right there. That big lady will beat you the hell up if you say anything about her sweet little girl. Okay.
Are you? Sounds like classic butch femme to me. Like, it's right there.
Literally?
It's literally right there.
Rick, why did you do this and make them straight? Why is it that they connected because Clarice needed romantic advice?
It's fine.
Why? But also, I'm fully here for Chris Rodriguez, the he-him lesbian. I'm fully here for it.
Hell yeah.
So, it's canon.
Clarice is like, normally I'm only into other butches, but this one girl.
Yeah, it's fine. So Annabeth's glad Percy isn't dead. But nobody else cares because Beckendorf is dead, so they leave him the fuck alone. They get out of Dodge so Percy can talk to Annabeth and Chiron. Have a short little debrief that we have to have a meeting of everybody, even though they just left. To say, hey, there's a spy at camp, and also we need to talk about the prophecy. It's happening. It's fucking happening.
It's happening.
All right. We're going up to the attic. Chiron can't go up because it's not wheelchair accessible. Sorry, centaur accessible. Hey, it's funny because he sometimes has a wheelchair.
No, I got you.
I have to laugh at my own jokes. Okay. So they go up there and they see all the old trophies, like that wonderful thing that Gus stole, the fuzzy dice. And also a really, really bent scimitar of Campy. Damn.
Yeah, they fucked it up.
It says green stains on the metal from the magical poison that used to cover it. Used to. There's no more magical poison? Are we sure?
Why don't you touch it and find out?
Percy literally picks it up and I'm like, bro, maybe don't.
It's fine. I'm sure it's fine.
I wouldn't do that. Also, we gotta make it a little bit lighter, talk about funner times. Hey, remember when like a bunch of campers died in the Battle of the Labyrinth? That was great. But we gotta talk about the prophecy, actually. And hey, look, we're meeting the Oracle again. She's still a mummy. Why? We're finally questioning it. Thank you, Percy. Asking questions. Unlike other child protagonists that shall not be named.
Steven Universe?
Shut the fuck up.
Anyways.
Unlike other black-haired child protagonists. Specifically.
I was like, spooky mummy seems legit. But no, he's totally right. Usually is some lady. So...
Yeah. Well, I think... I don't know if he necessarily knew what the Oracle was before that. He's just like, why is she a mummy? Like just in general, like, why is a satyr half goat? You know? That's what it reads like to me. It's not necessarily that he's questioning why she's like not alive, and just why is the Oracle like this?
See, to me it reads like he has a reason for questioning this, because you wouldn't question why a satyr is half goat, because that would be fucking rude. Imagine saying that to Grover. Why are you half goat? It's like,
if you're from Africa,
you can't ask people why they're half goat.
If you're from Africa, why are you white?
Exactly.
Raye, you have ADHD. You understand what it's like to just say words and forget that they're coming out of your mouth.
My God, I don't anymore, honestly. Because I grew so much social anxiety, but as a child, I was a fucking menace. I said so many things that I really should not have.
Same, but I still do it. The anxiety just, it keeps me from doing it, but when I do it, then I'm like, cool, I never should speak again, actually. Yeah. Please, somebody zipper my mouth shut.
I have conversations and I'm like, this is going totally fine. And then every time afterwards, I'm like, dear God, why do I live?
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm like, that person probably hates me forever now and will never talk to me ever again. And then they do. And I'm like, why the fuck are you still here? Anyway, I value all of my friends who still stay with me, despite all the weird shit that I say.
Despite it all.
Okay, so the Oracle wasn't always a mummy. Wow, amazing. She was, like, a girl, and then she just, like, died, and the Oracle didn't move on, apparently, from this one. So, okay. Let's think about this timeline for a second. 50 years ago, was that when she was chosen, or when she was just a beautiful maiden?
I was assuming the line is, she was like that 50 years ago, but she was the last. She was the last, like, living oracle. So I'm assuming that she died 50 years ago.
Then why is she a hippie?
What is our timeline? What year did this book come out?
I was just about to look that up. The last Olympian... Because I was like... 2009.
So she died in the 60s?
She... How does math work? Is that 69? Or is my math wrong? Because I'm trying to do things in my head. Minus 50... 59. That's 59.
Okay.
That's the year Barbie was born. Anyway, it's an important date.
I don't know when hippie culture existed. So, my brain says 70s though, so I don't...
like it's like late 60s to early 70s. I think it's somewhere in that ballpark. My mother has told me about this.
In either case, that's still too early. If 50 years is an accurate estimation,
if 50 years is when she became the spirit,
right, that would be totally fine.
That could also make sense, but also, wow, she must have died early. But I'm very confused on how this timeline works, and we're probably going to get into it because, hey, look, we've introduced this plot line, and this question, so I feel like that means it'll maybe be answered in this book. Maybe we're going to talk about the Oracle a little bit and why the fuck she's like this.
It could have just been one of those little asides, because Percy's like, what happened? And Annabeth's like, moving on. I don't feel like it.
Maybe Annabeth's not right about the 50 years ago. Maybe she's bad at math and we don't know.
Anyways.
That would be actually so funny if Annabeth was bad at math.
She's an architect. She can't. She can't. I know she got dyslexia, but she can't have dyscalculia. It would fuck her up too bad. I would see, even the thought of it makes me so sad, so upset, that I'm like...
Demigods, they can have dyslexia, but if they have dyscalculia, they're fucked.
Well, Annabeth specifically is all I'm saying.
I mean, you're not wrong.
How much fucking math goes into architecture? It's a lot. It's a misery. Geometry, right. My enemy.
Truly. Okay, I guess we have to go. We have to keep going on with this. We'll get back to this timeline eventually. So the prophecy has been here all along. It's just in... Yeah. Go ahead.
It's in a leather pouch around her neck, described as a Native American medicine pouch, which is probably something that a hippie would do, so I guess that follows, but also why?
Yeah, it does feel like one of those things that's like, Rick, but also hippies.
Points for accuracy, negative points for stereotypes.
Yeah. But it's just there. It's just in a little tiny thing, and Annabeth apparently just, like, stole it when she was 10. Annabeth, I want to know about that story, too. Rick, you give us so many little nuggets that I want to know about. I want to hear about this little story when Annabeth came up here. Maybe she was asking the Oracle a question and wanted to try to get a quest, and then she's like, what's this? And then just takes it and reads it, and then she has nightmares forever. But now there's definitely about Percy. specifically about Percy. Because ever since she's met him, she's been like, oh shit, it's about him. Oh shit, it's about him.
He's the guy.
He's the guy. You know the guy. Elijah Wood. Okay, so this isn't the first time we've had this setup, right? Where it was in Titan's Curse that we went to the is it the basement or is it just the rec room? My brain,
I feel like we had that whole argument last time. Like some shit about like where is this room?
Again, my brain says that like the rec room is going to be like in the basement downstairs, you know, like the chill vibes where like all the kids hang out kind of space. And again, it's around a ping pong table.
Yes, that's where we hold War Council. It's the only spot that makes sense.
The vibes are immaculate, guys. Immaculate conception.
God. We could bring it all around, but what if instead we don't? What if it's not all coming together?
Mary was bored without original sin right here on the ping pong table.
No, okay. All right. Clarice has her replacement electric spear because Percy broke her last one. This one is named Mamer. Everyone calls it Lamer behind her back. Very good. Michael Yu is the new head counselor of Apollo.
We've talked about him before, but yeah. So I don't have to do my name thing. We already know his name works. It works within the world. He's Apollo kid.
Yes, you would Bose. Yay.
Also Michael.
Yes.
But the important thing here is that he is a very short, very angry man. Which I've definitely explained before. I also picture Ethan Nakamura as being a very short, angry man. I don't know why, they give off similar vibes to me. But Clarice is only a foot taller than him. Does that track? Do you think Clarice is 5'6"?
Does it really say 1 foot? Like, is that...
It says Michael is 4'6" and Clarice stood a foot taller than Michael. And I do not for a second believe that she is 5'6".
See, I could see it, but I feel like that contradicts, like, stuff from earlier. I feel like she's been described as, like, huge and tall.
Yeah, I've always pictured her being, like, towering and, like, broad-shouldered, big, muscly.
And see, she can be big and muscly and not towering. Like, that would be fine.
She could.
But I feel like she's been described as tall. I don't know.
That also could be, like, from Percy's 12-year-old perspective, is the could sad be. Part. I don't like it's like, yeah, when Percy was 12, she was, like, gigantic to him.
And then she hasn't grown ever since.
And then he's, like, taller than her now, I guess. Because I think canonically Percy gets to be like 6 feet tall.
Damn, boy.
Yeah. And I'm like, no way Clarice is shorter than him. I don't believe you. Okay, so we are getting new campers though right now. Among our friends, the Stoll brothers and Pollux, the only Dionysus kid left, we also have Katie Gardner. Is that a Demeter kid or what? Okay, do I need to look up how Catherine works? If possible. It might not. All that matters is if one of the names really works.
Right.
I think Gardner might just be it, actually.
But gods only fuck people with, like, thematically relevant names. We all know this.
Like Jake Mason, son of Hephaestus.
God.
Literally, we have a gardener, daughter of the harvest, and a mason, son of the blacksmith.
Yeah, it's right there.
The fuck? I love you, Rick. I love how you gave them all good names. This is what you do. What happens when you run out of names?
You don't. You never will.
That's when you stop giving them last names.
You get more creative with it. You get silly with it.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Where is my, like, daughter of Aphrodite named, like, Rose or something? Like, it's too easy sometimes. Yeah, Selena and Clarice are still, vibing in the corner.
Well, but Clarice is actually in the middle of a shouting match.
Yeah, I know. But they're sitting beside each other, so therefore it's gay. Yeah. Clarice is having a moment. We don't exactly know what is happening here, but I'm sure we'll find out soon.
Clarice and Connor Stoll are arguing over some kind of loot.
Oh.
She says that Ares' cabin should get it, whatever it is, and everyone else agrees that the Hermes cabin has a better claim over whatever it is. And actually, she's so mad.
It's actually Michael. It's Michael from the Apollo cabin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody gets in on the fight, but it is very much like
where I read like one line that Connor said, so I just assumed, but no. Yes.
No, it's Clarice and Michael, it's Ares versus Apollo.
And we all know that I get Apollo and Hermes confused for no reason. This is established lore of the podcast.
You've definitely said this, but I'm also just like, pro. Why? At least pick gods that have similar sounding names.
I'm sorry. They just have the same vibe to me.
They do, just a little bit. Like, they're both himbos.
Mm-hmm.
Except Hermes is like actually smart secretly. He pretends that he's a himbo. Apollo really is a himbo. So we don't know what the fuck it is. It's just there is a loot that one of them has and the other one wants. Michael has it, Clarice wants it, and no one will side with her.
And she's so angry.
She's just real pissed. And she's only sorry to Selena, which my gay heart. I will only apologize to you, no one else. And then she's like, you guys can all fucking die and the world can like end for all I care. You're not giving me this thing I want. It's kind of very Achilles right here. I don't know. That might not be important. It could be. Almost like he did that once. I could be wrong.
I had forgotten where we were going with all of this. That it was literally the Trojan War. Oh boy.
I know where we're going with this. It might be something coming up in a future, in case you missed it. But so everybody's kind of like, shit, we're all gonna die without Clarice. And the Ares cabin, because the whole cabin will stand behind her, because they're all kind of like that. What do you think is her fatal flaw? Have we talked about this?
I don't think so, not with Clarice.
Because you'd almost think that right now it's like pride? Is it pride?
I don't think pride is the right word. I think it's more rigidity. It's an unwillingness to change.
Stubborn?
Yes.
She's too stubborn.
That's what my brain says.
I can see that.
She's unwilling to change her stance, even when the world is on the line. She's
an immovable force. What? Oh God!
Because I think that they really are probably disrespecting her here. She doesn't really have a point, but maybe she kind of has a point. But like,
we'll learn about it someday.
Yeah, I'm excited to get the full story again, because I'm like, I need more info before I can take a side.
I don't fully remember whose side I should be having.
Right.
Because right now I'm just like, I feel like they're both assholes, but I could be wrong.
Probably.
I feel like no one's correct here.
So everybody else is just like, she's not serious. Like obviously the Ares kids are gonna help out, but we don't have time to talk about that because we gotta move on.
Yeah. Anyway, we gotta read the Great Prophecy, bro.
Yay.
Bro, they're saying the lines. A half-blood of the eldest dogs.
Roll credits.
Time to rename the podcast. Imagine if we were called Of the Eldest Dogs.
Senior Dog Sanctuary Podcast.
Oh my God. What we do is we make like a side Instagram of the eldest dogs and we just post really old dogs.
Yeah.
Actually, that would be really, really sad really quickly.
No, everyone loves Senior Dog Sanctuary. Don't worry about it.
I'll try not to. But we had to have a little dyslexia moment for them, to remind the audience.
Well, the explanation here is that this is happening because Percy is so anxious about this. Like, he's literally, like, having an anxiety attack, and they're making him read about his own demise out loud to everyone. It's like when they call on you in class to do the reading and you have dyslexia. Like, that's what's happening here.
Yeah. It's fine. Okay, we're gonna do it. We're gonna read it together? Yeah?
We cannot. That's not how video recordings work. The lag would be a fucking nightmare. One of us will have to do it.
Oh, wait, no, but if we did that, then maybe it'd sound all echoey like the Oracle is doing it.
I don't know about all that, my dude.
Fine. A half-blood of the eldest gods shall reach 16 against all odds, and see the world in endless sleep. The hero soul cursed blade shall reap. A single choice shall end his days. What?
Dun dun dun.
Olympus to preserve or raise. And we gotta go through it line by line. I really wish we could have had what was it, like the last couple times? I think we just had Alex on to interpret the prophecies.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't remember a single conversation we've ever had.
I'm not gonna lie, that's valid. Same bro. But I wish we had someone on who didn't know what the fuck was happening.
Yeah.
But I'll just bullshit some stuff. It'll be fine. A half-blood of the eldest gods. Okay, I know it's supposed to be the big three, and that's what they're all saying. The answer here is either a primordial, because eldest is not Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades. It's not. They're not even...
Maybe we're not, I guess we're only considering the Olympians, gods, you know?
Zeus is the youngest. This is also being sexist. This is also saying that only the male gods of this very specific group count in this eldest gods scenario.
What I've read is that the birth order is actually reversed from their original birth order, because that's the order that they get spit up by Kronos.
There is that, and I do think that's an interesting interpretation, but I also hate it because that makes Zeus, cooler than everybody else, because then instead of being the little one, the baby, the one that everyone should shit on, he's the coolest, the older brother, I saved all of you.
I think maybe you're putting too much stock into birth order. Do you make fun?
I'm an only child. I have no stake in this. I have no siblings. I know nothing about this.
Imagine if you had a younger sibling and you were like, haha, you're so shitty and lame. That's so fucked up, dude. I mean, not that people don't do that, but...
That's what I know from the Disney Channel. Are you saying, those shows I watched as a child aren't true? Are you saying that? Is that what you're saying?
Youngest sibling gets all the privileges, actually. Because they're I'm so little and cute. Also, you've already done this with a bunch of other people already. So, by the time you get to the youngest, parents are there's no rules anymore. We've already been through this.
But honestly, if we're going by specifically oldest of the Olympians, it's Aphrodite. Full stop.
Depends.
It is Aphrodite. She is the one who came from Uranus's funky little sea foam, dick foam, whatever you want to call that.
That's only our preferred interpretation. There's technically other parentage that she could have.
Okay. Her other parentage option is Zeus, and I think her name is Dion. She I feel like she's a made up goddess. They're all made up, but she's specifically just the feminine form of Zeus. Honestly, I think she's fake.
Zeus propaganda so that he can say he's oldest.
This is a Charlie theory that I've fully made up in my head, where I'm bro, what does she do? Nothing. Her name literally just means goddess, but it means Zeus, Dios, Zeus. It's actually this same stuff. Yeah. Anyway, No, Aphrodite is the eldest of, like, the Olympians, but if you want, like, eldest gods, chaos? Like, what if it was a child of one of the primordials? What if one of them had a half-blood?
That would be very interesting.
Huh? Anyway.
Yeah, but it does seem like they made a lot of assumptions based on this one line of the prophecy.
Yeah. The thing is, it's also Rick mythology, so that means we're probably just gonna go with whatever the fuck he's saying.
It's his book.
But hey, look, they're gonna reach 16 against all odds. Huh, maybe there's like a bonus show called Against All Odds that you guys should like listen to. It's on our Patreon.
Give us money.
Yeah, they're just gonna become 16. It doesn't necessarily say that they're going to die immediately after that. It does say that they're going to die. Or somebody is. Unclear. We don't have a gender of this half-blood, but someone, a he, a his, is going to die. So. The world is gonna be in endless sleep. Alright, everybody's gonna just go to sleep. What is this? Like, Sleeping Beauty? We're gonna, like, Percy has to go under a sleeping curse, but, like, actually, we're gonna put everybody in the entire world into one too, so that way he's not by himself when he wakes up. Literally, that's how Sleeping Beauty goes, bro. Right?
Is that how Sleeping Beauty goes?
Like, she's the only
movie, don't they? I totally forgot about that.
Like, she's the only one who's cursed to do it, but then the fairies are like, nah, we gotta put everybody else under the curse, so that way she doesn't freak out when she's the only one left alive.
Okay, I guess.
When she comes back out of it.
We're just gonna put this entire country in stasis.
Literally, that's how it is! Okay, the hero soul, cursed blade shall reap. Percy, that basically happened to you, like, 2 chapters ago. Your soul was almost reaped by a blade that is fucking cursed as hell!
It's hilarious to me that he does think of Riptide first when he reads that, cause yeah, there's literally an evil scythe.
Just saying, that is the very obvious choice, which means it definitely cannot be.
There's an evil scythe that literally reaps souls. It's right there, Percy.
I mean, it is right there, but that means it definitely fucking cannot be that thing, because we've heard that exact phrase happen, right? Yeah. But also, yes, Riptide, we don't know if it's necessarily cursed, per se. We just know that it has a long, terrible history. And also, Percy, you fucking know some of that terrible history. You don't know if it's cursed, necessarily. But you do know
He's
not like stuff.
He's not thinking of it as, like, it has a curse on it. Like, cursed as in, fucked up and evil.
Okay, so we definitely say it cursed, but there's also people who say it cursed.
Uh-huh.
Is one of these more valid than the other? Does one of these have a different meaning?
No, it's the same shit. One just sounds more fancy.
Because people say cursed, and I'm just like, what is happening?
No, that's just, like, an old English thing that, like, we still kind of use sometimes. Blessed and blessed is exactly the same thing.
Yeah. Also, you can't say blessed to me without me, like, having flashbacks to Catholicism.
I'm so sorry.
This episode is just Charlie trauma dumping about Catholicism, actually. Okay. A single choice shall end his days. Like I said, one dude. Okay, somebody's a dude. But also, what other meanings could a single choice shall end his days mean? Is it just death?
I cannot think of literally anything else. That's what that,
He only... Wait, he turned into a vampire.
But then he would still have days.
No, he only has nights.
Oh, wait. Oh, shit!
I figured it out, guys.
Nice.
I did it. Percy's not going to die. He is going to become a vampire. And then he's going to become a master of the night. Like, there it is. Percy Jackson, vampire. This is my Immortal fanfiction.
Oh,
Percy Jackson edition.
Okay. Alright.
I can't. Okay. Olympus 2, preserve or raise. Yeah, that one's pretty self-explanatory because we do know how it's spelled. I guess.
Yeah.
But this is the only reason why we have to see it written out. This specific line is the reason why we have to see the prophecy written and not spoken by the oracle.
That's true, because then they could be arguing about it. But, like, also, like, preserve or raise.
Which could mean preserve it the way it is, or raise it up to something
to
better.
Greater heights. Yeah.
Just saying, there are things that could be done there, but that's why we can't just have her, like, tell us. We have to see it spelled out, even with our dyslexic friends. I'm gonna say that Selena might not be dyslexic.
Well, she doesn't see it. Percy just says it to all of them.
But she knows how to spell it right on the spot.
Figures out which word it is based on context.
Also, this is like the only time she's spoken. Why? I don't know.
She's having a moment.
To me, that says she's the only non-dyslexic person in the room. So she's the only person who could speak about it. Okay, so yeah, this is the prophecy. And Percy's like, wow, I was raised like a pig for slaughter! You all knew I was gonna die anyway. Thanks, Chiron.
Yeah.
You had to become 16, so, like, the prophecy could happen, Percy.
I mean, what else is he gonna do? Die otherwise? Like, he can't join the Hunters because, she hates him.
Well, see... if Artemis wasn't like this, Percy could join the Hunters. Anyway, Percy could just, like, I don't know, stop aging.
If you've got a plan, I'm all ears for how he's gonna do that.
I still think it's funny. It doesn't necessarily, like, yeah, shall reach 16. I guess that could mean you have to age. But also, Thalia's been around for 16 years.
Yeah, no, you're
She's
absolutely
been around
right.
for, like, 20 years. So, yeah, come on.
TBH, she's already past the milestone by the time we meet her.
Yeah, it's very annoying. But I guess they have to age, so that'll make it work.
They're, like we said earlier, they're making a lot of assumptions about these first 2 goddamn lines of the prophecy and how they work.
Again, I can interpret it so many ways. I thought of the vampire thing. None of y'all thought about that, did you? Huh? But also, I guess that doesn't mean he's dead. If we're going with certain types of vampires, at least.
Depends on the vampire. True.
Yeah, if you watch one of my favorite movies that I can't talk about, he's not actually dead, but he is a vampire. So, anyway. There's a spy. We have to talk about Cronus's little friendship bracelet again.
Indeed.
I can't believe I forgot it was a friendship bracelet. I'm, like, still mad at myself for that. I thought it was a necklace, and I think it's because the other person, the spy, has to have a necklace with a scythe charm. They literally say it in this chapter that they have to have a necklace with a scythe charm.
Do they?
They do. Pollock says it, and I'm like, how do you guys know that?
Yeah, that seems like also a weird assumption to make. Are you sure that they say that? Or are you just remembering?
In my book, it's page 58. She's right, Pollock said at last. Accusing each other doesn't help. We need to keep our eyes open for a silver necklace with a scythe charm. If Kronos had one, the spy probably does too.
Yeah, that's a really strong assumption, my dude.
Yeah. I feel like you just look for a scythe charm wherever you can. I don't know. Just little things. Rick, did you have an editor? Did you think about these things? I don't know. Also, they're like, what if the spy is one of Luke's siblings? Guys, that's way too obvious. Again, never the obvious answer.
The first sus moment is when they're like, must have been somebody he's close to, and then, like, glance at Annabeth.
Hey, we already had this in The Lightning Thief, okay? I'm just saying, if you didn't, on a first read through of The Lightning Thief, think for, like, 5 seconds that maybe Annabeth could have had something going on there where she was going to be the friend that betrayed Percy. Because, I mean, we don't know her as well at that point, and her and Percy have this rivalry going on. Maybe it's going to be her. Maybe she's going to be the betrayer.
See, that never even occurred to me because I'm a dumbass, and also I forget the prophecies immediately.
I think that's, like, at least the point of what Rick was doing in totally The Lightning Thief.
Yeah.
Is that she was kind of the red herring to be the one, who Percy would think maybe would betray him.
Yeah, but that's absolutely what's being set up there. You're totally right. It has just never even occurred to me before.
But again, since we are drawing this conclusion, it absolutely cannot be Annabeth. Because he's done it before, where it was a misdirect.
Also because we know Annabeth. Like,
True.
There's no fucking way at this point.
True. You're not wrong. And now for the news, with Chiron and Iris.
Okay, this is so funny to me. Like, I guess that these guys don't have cell phones or use the internet, because I'm like,
they're gods.
How could Mount St. Helen have blown up and you haven't heard about it?
Yeah, you mean the Half-Blood, sorry. Yes, we've talked about how the demigods can't have technology.
Right.
whatsoever. Yeah. It is weird, though. Like, to exist on the earthly plane and not know anything. Like, I don't love looking at the news either, but I still hear about it.
Yeah, like, if you are just walking around in New York and Mount St. Helens blew up, how could not everybody be being like, oh my god, Mount St. Helens, right? Did you guys know that adults really do just talk about the weather all the fucking time?
God, I hate it so damn much. The amount of times that I've, like, gone on a dating app and someone has brought up the fucking weather. Oh my god! I hate it. I fucking hate adults.
This is just how we live.
But what you were saying about, like, how you could just, like, walk down the street and, like, everyone's gonna be talking about it, I'm just imagining the scene you see in, like, every single movie or TV show. It's the glass on, and then there's a bunch of TV screens that are all saying the same thing. Like, does that still exist? Like, in stores where there's just a bunch of TV screens and they just, like, tell you the news of something that is happening right now? Or is that just a TV trope?
TV displays, but I don't think that they show the news. And also, I don't think that they're in the windows. You have to go inside the store. But I've never been in New York, so I don't fucking know. But,
like, why is that in so much media? Why does that always happen?
Who knows? It is convenient.
It is so fucking convenient. But, I do love this, that, like, we can use Iris in this way. Why don't we do this more fucking often? Can Iris just, like, show us the past? Can we say, Iris, show me who killed this person? And she will do it.
They are just crystal balling with it here, which is kind of cray.
Like,
bro,
that's from 2 days ago.
And it is a news broadcast, right?
Yeah.
She's just reusing somebody's news broadcast. Like, what the fuck?
I'm just saying, Iris, this is some power we need to use more often. Just be like, Iris, please tell me, like, this thing. Show me this. Show me what happened. Show me the beast. You know, just do that crystal ball shit more often. Please and thank you. Also, this may be the first time that Rick has done it, but it will not be the last time that he's like, hey, you know, this centuries-old monster from mythology, our plucky main character is gonna be like, that's named Leroy. It's the first time he's done it. It will not be the last.
Huh.
I don't know why it's Leroy.
No, Leroy's a funny name. Objectively. That's why Leroy Jenkins is so well-loved and remembered.
Rick's 2 favorite names, Leroy and Bob.
Yeah. No, he's right. He's right.
They are good names.
So the line in here is, it is a good line where Percy is like, I wish that he would have just said, no, that's our huge friend Leroy. He's going to help us.
Yeah. Percy's just like, no, please, can this, like, giant monster destroying the world not be a bad guy?
It would be so convenient if he wasn't trying to destroy the world.
Percy, I'm sorry to say, this time it kind of is your fault. Because
no, leave him alone. They were setting this up anyways. I'm sure.
It's true that he probably would have woken up eventually because, like, that's how these things go. We're retelling the myths. But Percy did specifically
He literally
explode.
did blow up that mountain with the guy in there, so...
Yeah.
It's not like you aren't right.
Yeah,
which
he made
doesn't
him stir...
really come up here, so that's...
He made him stir earlier than he would have. So, yeah, Percy, you expedited that one a little bit.
So yes, the gods are animal formed, and they are fighting Typhon.
Hey, look! They're in the animal forms! Also, it's what is it? It's only Annabeth. It's only Athena that we see as, like, a monstrous owl, specifically. Monstrous owl. Ida, my girl.
God.
And yet, specifically, when I looked that stuff up, Athena was one of the only gods who didn't turn into an animal. That's really funny. Yeah, but they're all, like, fighting. And, that's why Dionysus is not here.
He's busy.
It was mentioned earlier that he's not at camp right now, and this is why everybody except Poseidon is there fighting Typhon, because Poseidon has other shit to deal with.
And Percy's like, that sounds like a bad idea, that they are all over there fighting Typhon. Kronos apparently has, like, other plans, and they're like, you already sank the ship, and there's the big monster guy. That's all. He only has 2 plans, right? And he's like, that doesn't seem right to me, but okay.
Yeah, remember, if he has a spy at camp, he would have known they were going to attack the Princess Andromeda, so he would have had some other plan in place to attack Olympus. And guys, we kind of need to protect that place. It's, it's the heart of Western civilization. We haven't actually said it in a while, but yeah, it's that thing. Although, I feel like the heart of Western civilization is actually, like, the Statue of Liberty. I could be wrong.
You don't think that the Empire State Building is more important?
I think it's specifically the towering lady whose, like, torch she bears is supposed to represent hope to all who, like, come to this new land.
Yeah, that's literally, like, anytime that you show, like, pictures of America, it's her. So, like...
Why is it the fucking Empire State Building?
Because it'd be hard to put a mountain on top of a lady, I guess.
Yeah, it's also harder to defend a small island than, like, this thing in the middle of New York City. It's more fun. I think Rick was, like, planning this out, and he was like, we need to have this, like, fortress in the center of the city.
We'll get into it in the rest of the book.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it. Karen's like, that's enough depressing shit for today.
And we adjourn our council.
And I have given myself too much shit to edit with this one because I could not shut my fucking face.
Oh yeah, this one's gonna be a nightmare.
It's fine. It's mine.
I have a thing to talk about.
Yeah. You have a plug?
I do.
A plug? As a reminder, we are still currently in the strike times, so we're not plugging struck work. I can't speak.
We support SAG-AFTRA. Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
So my plug is actually a single YouTube video, which is The Mythology Behind Hades by Ludiscere or something like that. It's spelled Ludiscere. And it slaps. I know that we did, like, a bonus episode on Hades mythology stuff, but honestly, this guy did a much, much better job than us, so...
Wow. You're gonna rag on us and how great we are at talking about, Orphism, and how I really don't know enough about it, but,
Anyways, so this is an incredible and greatly well-researched video. It's 3.5 hours long. And he goes really well into a lot of stuff. Like, specifically, I wanted to mention when we talked about Ares, or maybe it wasn't even, we were talking about the fucking Stymphalian birds. And we were like, they shoot their little arrows. So when this guy's talking about Ares, he's like, see how he's got those like feathery things on his shoulders? That might be because his birds are often linked to the Stymphalian birds. And there's this whole passage about how they drop their feathers like arrows on people. And it's like, they actually do that thing that we weren't sure if they did or not. So anyways, and that's why that happens in Percy Jackson and also the video game on the PS1, Herc's Adventures.
Amazing.
And now I know for sure that does have mythological basis, and I'm quite pleased.
Fucking send me this video afterwards.
I'll link it to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just the mythology behind Hades, so if you gotta look that up, please do.
I will try to put it in the show notes. Hell yeah. Oh, what was that? I literally was just looking at an artist on Instagram. Where the fuck are you? There you are. Okay, I'm gonna plug something that I know Robert loves too. Not at all Percy Jackson related, not gonna lie, but it does bring me so much joy. I think you're gonna enjoy this one too, Raye. If you don't follow them, follow Is Bubbles on Instagram. That's IZ Bubbles. This is a fan artist who makes a lot of Nicktoons fan art. Nice. For specifically like these 4 characters, Danny Phantom, Jimmy Neutron, Timmy Turner, and SpongeBob, as if they are all besties.
That's delightful.
They are all best friends. SpongeBob sometimes has a human form. They're all aged up, and Jimmy and Timmy are in a relationship.
Good.
And I think Danny is canonically trans. In their version, it's I just enjoy the little comics, and the art style is good. And
that's so wonderful.
Robert and I just send each other this person's posts back and forth. And I was about to send Robert a post, and I'm like, wait, you've already liked it. Never mind. Yeah, they're just them cute, fun things. Raye.
Oh, please release us from this mortal coil. I'm dying.
I was about to say, can I release us from this mortal coil?
Sorry, I was looking at Instagram.
Raye on Instagram? Wild.
It is less likely than you think.
Seriously. I have to think about what happened in this chapter. Get out of my fucking cabin, because I just heard about how I'm gonna die or maybe become a vampire. I'm unsure about that. But like, it really shouldn't be me. It should be like Selena, because she's the daughter of Aphrodite, and that's the eldest goddess.
Just completely reinterpret every line of the prophecy.
Plot twist, Selena is the one who it should have been about all along, but actually, I think she's supposed to be like 18 and going to college soon, so it doesn't work anyway. Bye.
Let's get out of here.
Hello, listeners! Editing Charlie here with a patron shoutout. If y'all didn't know, our $10 and up patrons now get a shoutout on the pod. So now, I get to shout out our lovely God Complex level patron, Matt. Matt is so wonderful and has been a supporter since we started the OTAG Patreon. Thank you so much for all your support, bud.
You can follow this podcast socials at Of the Eldest Gods Pod on Instagram and Tumblr, and at Of the Eldest Gods on Twitter. You can send us an iris message through oftheeldestgodspod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support us financially, join us at patreon.com/oftheeldestgods. By becoming a patron, you can join the Deus Ex Media Discord server, where you'll be able to chat with us and other listeners about episodes and anything Percy Jackson related. Our $5 patron tier also gets you access to Against All Odds, our monthly bonus show. There, we'll talk about a wide variety of topics, which usually have something to do with mythology. No promises. You can check out our merch store on Redbubble to find custom designs made by Charlie. Or if you cannot or do not want to support us financially, we'd really appreciate a rating, a review, or letting your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. That really helps. You can find me, Raye, at HeyHeyRaye, spelled R-A-Y-E, on Twitter. If you want to hear more from me, check out Barbie Movie Slap, a podcast where my co-host Ted and I discuss Barbie's cinematic universe. That podcast Twitter is at Barbie Slaps.
And you can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms, but on Twitter I'm at GreenPixie123, which I'm totally not salty about. I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws. I sometimes do the YouTube thing on my channel, Charlie Mac. That's M-A-C-K. Our music was written by Isabel Strauss-Riggs and recorded and edited by Ian M. Riggs. You can find Izzy at Kane_I, that's I as in the body part, on Instagram and Twitter. She also currently makes video essays on the YouTube channel Kane I. Feel free to message her about making music for your project or editing your podcast. Of the Oldest Gods is proud to be part of Deus Ex Media, which features great podcasts like Content and Capable that follows Sam as he tries to figure out what it truly means to adults.
Have you ever gotten so distracted in Stardew Valley that you forgot to sleep? Have you realised that you have a whole room in your house full of dolls? Or have you even bored your friends to sleep talking about your passion? Well then, Content Capable is the podcast for you. Join me, Sam, as I chat to people passionate about what they do, asking questions about how they fell in love with their passion, what they do, and how it interacts with their day-to-day lives. Catch the podcast every Monday as I find out what makes someone tick, all while gleaning interesting and insightful life lessons along the way. There'll be laughs, a bit of crying, a whole lot of conversations, and we learn just a little bit more about the world around us.
Of the Eldest Gods is based on the series by Rick Riordan. Right now, we are discussing Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Remember to follow us on your favorite podcatcher and meet us back here every Thursday.
Sorry, Christina, is asking right now, who would Mulan's godly parent be? And people are saying Athena. Do we agree? Yeah?
Seems correct to me.
Yeah, I say so. Okay.
She's not an Aries.
Yeah, I don't see Aries for that. You're right.
Deus Ex Media.